So, hello friends. I was trying to do something earlier and somebody else was washing clothes and using the dryer. And I'm just going to turn this dryer on. Can you see this over here? My dryer. I'm going to go ahead and just start it up here. Just take a listen. Do you hear that? Listen. It just makes me want to like spew. You know what I'm saying? Hear it? It's wanting to do it. Here. It drives me up a freaking wall. Hear that? I can hear it through the whole house. Everybody can. We're going crazy. We're going to take care of that issue today. Coleman, is that you? Hey Coleman, how you doing, buddy? Are you there with your dad? Watching old Wayne on the YouTube? Cool, cool. What better thing to do on a cold Saturday morning? Hey, listen, something going on behind me here. Hear that? It's a pretty awful sound, isn't it? It sounds like wild birds or something trying to, sweep out of the sky and attack me. Hear this? Listen. Okay, it's not too bad at the moment. We've got this old man out here, and Susie has had this dryer for quite a long time. And it's actually cooperating pretty well right now. But man, I'll tell you what, sometimes this thing will get to screeching. And drives us crazy, if you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna fix it today. So Coleman, get out your tools and let's get down and let's get dirty. So the first thing we're gonna have to do here, just to be safe, we're gonna take this power cord right here, unplug it from the wall. I'm just going to drape it over the dryer there like that. Safety first, as they say. And Coleman, this is where it gets fun because you get to get down on the floor, get down real close to this machine, and you're going to see right there in the bottom of this machine is a screw, and then all the way over at this end, right over there, is another screw. We're gonna get those puppies out of there right now. All right, so we're ready to get this going. Hey, and all you really need is one of these handy dandy all-in-one screwdrivers. They're pretty inexpensive. You can get them at almost any hardware store in town. The cool thing about these is that they have all these replaceable or exchangeable bits. Like this one has a number 1 Phillips on one end, and has a number 1 flathead on the other. And then you flip this thing over, you got yourself a number 2 Phillips and a number 2 flathead. Now, but the really cool thing here for this project, can you see me better? Okay, is that when you pull this bit out of the end here, you have a hex driver. That hex driver happens to be a 5/16, which is pretty darn popular for hex bolts and screws. If you need something smaller, this little piece right here, if you pull the end bit out of there, that's a 1/4 inch driver. It's right there. Yeah, oh, I forgot to tell you, this piece pulls out, gives you options for a Torx, a square bit, and some other options in there. This is really hard to do when you're laying on your side. Okay, another Torx. And what was on the other side of this? Yeah, a smaller square head. So we're going to put this back in like this. All right, and we're going to pull that out of the end. And we're going to go ahead and take this screw out. You watching, Coleman? Hey. Okay, you just want to make sure you're watching me. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. All right, screw number 1 out of there. Screw number 2. He's out of there too. Bring him over here. Now all you have to do is just pull the bottom of this panel out, and it disengages these little these things, and pops it right out of there. Okay. Now before we go anywhere else, this is pretty cool too. Let me change the light a little bit so we can see what's going on right in there. All right, now when we look into the belly of this beast, Coleman, what we see here is we got a lot of space down underneath there. Way in the back there. That's the heating element. That's what makes all the hot air. These are the wires that make it get hot. That little black round thing there, that roller, that's what the drum sits on. And the drum is this round piece with a belt going around it. And that drum is what makes your clothes tumble on the inside. And it rests on that black roller. Now, there's another black roller. I don't know if we can see it or not. Sort of. It's like right up in there, right there. That roller is the second roller that is holding the drum up. And that's what gets to squeaking sometimes. Now, the other part that gets to squeaking is this little idler pulley sitting right back here that keeps belt tension where it needs to be so that belt doesn't slip, and so it has enough grip to turn the big drum. This is the big drum right here. And what we're looking at here, right here, that there is a leaf blower. Yeah. Sort of kidding there. But that takes all the air that comes out of the drum after it gets pushed up through the back, and it pushes all the hot air out of the back of the dryer. Remember seeing that little like a flexible hose on the back of your dryer? Okay, that takes the hot air and routes it outside the back of the dryer into the hot air exhaust duct, and then that exhaust duct goes to the outside of your house, and that's where you'll find the leaves that get blown all over the place. Okay, so but we're not going to work on it this way. There's an easier way to do it. We're not going to have to crawl back in there or find a little person to do that for us. Nope, we're gonna do it the right way. Here we go. What we're going to do is we are going to open the door in this dryer. And one of the first things we're going to do is take this lint catcher out. We're going to put it aside. And this little blower duct needs to be removed. And in order to do that, I'm going to flip this around here like this. We are now inside the dryer. And you can see that this is the lint duct area here. We're looking out of the dryer. There's a screw here, which actually is missing on this machine because the plastic boss that screws into is missing. There's one right here. It's a little Phillips, a little number 1, and another one right there. You can see it right there. All right. So we're going to pull this screw and this one out and pull this duct out of here. All right, here we go. So we take our handy dandy all-in-one tool with the number 1 Phillips. We're going to go for this first screw right back here. Coleman, if I had you here, you could crawl inside for me. Do this from the inside. It's kind of hard to do this without being able to see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. And sometimes you gotta turn the drum so stuff's out of your way. So, doing the other screw right now. you can't see it, but trust me. All right. That's that. Now, let's see, can you see this? No, probably not. Let's get you down here a little bit more where you can see what's going on. Okay, so with those 3 screws out, I can't do anything. Isn't that crazy? I wonder why. I mean, it's all unscrewed. Huh. Well, all right, we're gonna take this a step further. There's still more that has to be done, you know. Gee, I've done this before. I don't know what the problem is. So here's something I discovered, folks. I can remember a time when I would have to say it was probably about 30 to 40 years back when I could do something, you know, like basically do a task, you know, like take a dryer apart. I could do that once. And if I ever needed to come back to it in the future and do it a second or a third time, I knew exactly what to do from the first time I took it apart. So what just happened in there is I found out that that doesn't work for me anymore. I've taken this dryer apart 3 or 4 times in the past, and recently, like within the past 2 or 3 months. And today, as I'm filling this, I'm going, gee, why doesn't that little air duct come out of there when I take the 3 screws out from the inside of the drum? Oh, well, then it dawned on me that you got to take the front of the dryer off first. I never did that. I mean, and it was staring me right in the face the whole time. I'm calling it age because it's got to be, because I remember a day when I could just pick it up like that, you know. And so, Coleman, we're going to get back to that dryer here in just a second, okay? But I had to insert this because I wanted to tell you, buddy, take advantage of your youth. You're a young guy. Everything you do it with all your heart. Don't miss a beat, buddy. Life is good. Learn while you're young. Don't wait until you get old because it's a whole lot harder to learn when you get older. Get your learning done. Love you, buddy. All right, so back to this dryer here. So what we got to do first, in order to get this duct out, we have to remove the whole front of this dryer here, okay? And to do that, Coleman, looky there. Can you see that? There's a screw there, and there should be one more right there, right there. So let's get those out of there. Now, one thing I do remember is that once I get these screws out, these are the only 2 screws holding the front end. This over here. Now, I'm going to set this camera a little ways away and I'm going to try to show you what's going to happen here. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do here is we're going to close this door again. And when I do that, I'm going to lift the bottom of this out and the top is going to come right out. And what we're going to notice is there are 3 wires up here. So what we see here are 3 wires that go to the door switch. And this switch is used to detect when the door is opened or closed. So Coleman, you see that little button right there? When the door closes, that button gets pushed in. And these wires carry the signal up to the control panel that the door has been closed. That way when you open the door, the dryer shuts off. You know how that works. You've seen that happen, buddy. Okay? So anyway, we got to take these wires off. You got to remember what order they go in. So I usually take a picture. I already got a picture of it. Take off the gray, take off the black, take off the white. The order is GBW. Now, with the front of the dryer out of the way, this piece here just pops right out. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. All right, let's change the camera angle again. With the front of the dryer off and with the blower duct removed, way up under here, under the top of the dryer, there's a screw there. And all the way over to this end, there's a screw here. Those two screws are going to allow us to take the top of this dryer and tilt it back. So in order to do that, I'm going to pull this away from the wall a little bit to allow it to swing back. All right, so let me get this camera on a tripod and we'll come back. All right, so let's take this screw out right here. It's one. And then this one down here. And now I'm going to tilt this all the way back like that. So there you go. So now you can see the top of the drum, the belt that drives the drum right here. There's a little felt ring that goes around the back to divide the metal from the metal so that when the drum rotates you don't hear a big rubbing sound. So the felt is like a bearing. There's one of those in the front here too. You can see that. Sometimes you got to replace these things because they get kind of hot and nasty, or they get worn out, compressed. They're just made out of felt. Okay, so that's the top side. And we needed to get that because in order to get the drum out and get the belt in position and stuff, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Okay? So now, the next step, can you hear me okay? The next step is going to be to remove this screw here. There's a screw down here, right there. Another screw over here, and another one right there. What that's going to do, it's going to allow us to, I'll show you here from a distance. This whole assembly here is what holds the front of the drum up. This is the front drum support right here, okay? So we're going to pull that out next. So let me put this back on a tripod. I'll be right back. Okay, screw number one. You can't see that, but it's down there. This screw. This one up here. Now things are going to start to get a little wonky as we do this. Oh, by the way, while I'm here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but let's get this up a little bit. There is a light right here that allows you to see your clothes when you open the door. We're going to pull the wires. There's a red and black wire that go to that. We're going to go ahead and pull them all the way out here. We're going to let them just kind of dangle off to the side so that they're out of our way. Now, as I was saying, once I get these two screws out of the top, this thing's going to be floating around in here, so we're going to have to support it. And actually it shouldn't float around, but whoever put this together the last time forgot to put the little bottom tabs in these slots. See these little, you can't see those. Let me show you. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Let's see if I can get this thing in here. I got this tripod and it's just sometimes a little bit of pain in the neck. You know what I'm saying, Coleman? All right, here we go. So I want you to look at something here. Okay, you see right here, when you put this front drum holder or support in place, you should push this in. You see there's a little hole in the frame here. Push this in and let this little tab slide into that hole. That will support things for you while you put the screws in. Well, guess who did not do that the last time? And you can kind of see that like right here. See? See the tab? It's not in the hole. So don't make that mistake. Okay, Coleman, got it? All right, so let's get it back up here. Let's see what we're doing again. Okay. Bring you back up if I can. Whew. Are you going?
Yes, I need him.
Oh, come on in, Susie. Susie wants me to turn the camera off, so I'm gonna do that for her. I'll be back.
Why don't show up?
Oops. Okay. Susie's gonna walk Tyson. That's our dog. I'm gonna get back to recording. All right. So where we left off was I was describing what these little tabs on the bottom were for, and that's to allow this front panel to be supported while you take the screws out or put the screws in. So we have 3 screws out. The last one sits right here. So this corner is going to want to drop because I don't have the tab in, but I'm going to catch it here and just put the tab in. See, that holds it all in place. Okay. So I think we're ready to move this thing. We got everything disconnected. So now when I pull this front support out, it's a long video. Okay, when I pull this support out, the drum is just going to sort of hang in there all by itself. Put that aside. By the way, while you have this out, take a look at the felt. You know, just make sure that it looks like it's good. You can see it's sort of fallen in on itself here a little bit, so I might fix that up a little bit before I put the drum back in. So another point that you need to look at, there are these little, on this particular dryer anyway, there are these little like Teflon bearing surfaces. The drum sits on these in the front side. There are no wheels like there are in the back. It slides along this Teflon piece. You have to check those out. Every now and then those will get worn out. These are still in good condition. All right, yeah, so that's it. So this still looks like it's good enough to go back in for service. All right, now in order to get the drum out, we have to loosen the belt. The belt tension is still tight on here, so we're not going to be able to pull that out. So I'm going to change the camera angle again, and we're going to take a look at it from the underside, in the belly of the whale. Okay, so here we are again. We're back in the belly of the beast. I know I use a lot of mixed metaphors. Belly of the whale, belly of the beast, but I don't even know what a metaphor is. What's a metaphor for? Okay, so to get this to be a little easier to manipulate, I'm going to take this exhaust tube and push it out to the back like that. Gives me a little room to wiggle around in here. Now, I don't know if you can see it very well in this view. Yeah, I think you can. There's an idler pulley right back there. And what I'm going to do is, okay, you can see that all I have to do is push this idler pulley in, slip the belt off of it. Now the belt is loose in here, okay? And this is a new belt. I just replaced it not too long ago. All right, so the belt is now loose. That's all it takes, just pushing this idler pulley up to loosen the belt tension and popping the belt off. And back inside, I don't think you can see it. Let me get a different camera angle. So now we're inside the dryer again, and you can see again the idler pulley over there, but you can also see that the belt here runs around this pulley. Okay, and then this part of the belt comes back and goes to this side of the idler. See? Like that. That's the way it's normally put together. So we'll pop this off of there like that. Frees up the belt. Okay, got it? Hope that works for you. Now I'm supporting the drum at the front here with my hand. So now I'm just going to let this drum sit here freely. Really, the drum right now can come out, and we're going to switch camera views again and show you that. Okay, so now the belt tension loose. I'm just going to grab this drum and slide it straight out the front. Sometimes the belt gets hung up underneath, just slide it out the back. And there's the drum. Totally out of there. All right, so with that drum out of there, you can easily see everything inside this dryer. I mean, and everything we need to work at is right in that view right there. So just to get this out of the way, I'm going to pull the belt out. And the three things we're going to be looking at is this roller, and this roller, which is really stiff right now. And that is probably, as I look at this, let's get the camera off of here and take a look at that. We might need to replace that roller. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna need to replace it. You see this little ridge right here? Yeah. Whoops, sorry folks, I'm amazed. This thing has taken a lot of friction, folks. This is probably what the squealing is all about. I mean, I can't even spin this puppy. The grease has dried up so bad in there, it's almost like glue. And what's happened is the belt has carved a shoulder on this pulley. So I'll put it back together with this, but I'm going to pull this off of here. We're going to go ahead and clean it, put some fresh grease on it so it spins freely. I'll probably have to pull this thing apart again in a couple of days once I get the part, and we'll do this all over again. Now, these rollers here, they're new. I put these on a while back. I am going to pull them off though, clean off the little axle here, and put some fresh grease in there. And same as for this one over here on this side. They're not making the noise. It's this idler pulley here. I mean, there should just be no friction on it at all. So this grease, I mean, I can move this. I can't make it move unless I grab it and physically turn it with brute force and the strength of Aquaman. All right, so now you're looking at this from the back of the dryer at the bottom, and we're looking at the idler, our tensioner pulley here. And here's the motor drive pulley right here. So I'm going to use a pair of snap ring pliers. We're going to remove the snap ring. All right, there it is. The snap ring, a washer. Now we're going to try to get this pulley off of there. It's pretty tight on there, folks. But that's the pulley. Yeah, the grease has just turned to like glue. It's just like glue. I'll bring the camera up here so if you guys can see this. See that brown stuff right in there? That's the baked on grease. So we're going to go ahead and clean that up. All right, so I'm going to spray a little bit of this Max electronic cleaner onto this little axle here, and that should do it pretty good. Yeah, that's doing a good job. You can see the heat that's been applied to this from the friction. So that took all the old grease off of that part. Let's see what we can do on this part. Yeah. Look at that, much better, much better. So anyway, this pulley is going to have to be replaced. As I said, you can see the groove in this thing. So it's still usable for right now, but I am going to buy another one. I'm going to put it back in the same orientation, otherwise it's going to wear the belt out. So I want that groove to be on the same side it was when I took it off of there. All right, now we just need a little bit of grease. So now for grease, what you want is you want a high temperature grease. So I'm using this free packet that I got from AutoZone, actually. You can get this whenever you, they usually give this to you when you buy your brakes or something like that. You know, if you replace your brakes on your automobile, they'll give this to you. I went there today and the guy said, hey, let me just give you a free pack of this stuff, and he did. But that was after I bought a new alternator for my Honda Element, so he was pretty nice to me. So anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of this high temperature grease and put it in place here. And that should take care of it. I'll make sure that you didn't lose the inside washer. There's another washer here on the inside. I'm going to put this thing back on. There we go. Then the outer washer goes on. And then the snap ring. I'm just going to stick that in place. Position it. All right, snap ring is in place. I think we're good to go. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to put grease on these rear idler pulleys for the drum. So we'll do that next.
Hey Coleman, your dad was showing me some pictures of like when he was home on vacation, how you took your bike out and got it all muddy and then brought it back in and got it real shiny again. That was pretty cool, actually. And it looks like you're the kind of boy who likes to, you know how to do things, like, take things apart, put things together, adjust things, tweak things, and stuff like that. So this dryer video that I'm doing right now, it's for you, but you're probably not that interested in dryers. I just thought you might be interested in stuff, just things, how things work. And so that's why I'm doing this video for you. But you know what? I think I'm going to do something a little later. Now, Mike, don't get the idea that I'm making a promise that I'm going to put another video up. I'm not promising another video because you know how I am with promises. So this is not a promise. But I'm just thinking, Coleman, you might like to have a bicycle video of some sort. So, and your dad did ask me the other day to put some more bike repair videos up. So I'll probably do something like that. I might do a how to change your tire inner tube, how to patch an inner tube, maybe how to adjust your brakes. Who knows? But I'll think of something. So anyway, this is for you. And by the way, I'm drinking some nice hot chocolate right now. Just taking a little break from that dryer. It's wearing me out. It really is. It's a lot of work. It's just, I don't know if you saw me sweating there or not, but man, I had to take a break. So hot chocolate. Sitting right here in the living room with Tyson. See, there's Tyson, right? Where's he? Can you see him? Say hi, Tyson. Hi, buddy. Yeah. So that's Tyson. He's a lonely boy. His companion passed away several weeks ago, Daisy, but we remember her, and he can't forget her. He's a good boy. See, he's right here right now. He wants to get in on this action. He's a lover, aren't you, Tyson? You a lover? Yeah. Uh-oh. You can put your paw up there? Huh? Can you put your paw up here? You can do it. Put your paw. Oh, he's afraid he's going to knock something over. He's pretty smart. He really is. But okay. Anyway, Coleman, back to you. So, hey, Mike, you should recognize that maneuver there. That was a squirrel, right? Just chased a squirrel. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my hot chocolate, and I'll get back to the dryer thing in just a bit. See ya. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take this little idler pulley off, and try to get this thing greased up, cleaned up, whatever it needs. So, got the snap ring off. There is a little wavy washer on here that on the outside. We're going to pull this off. You can see, it might be difficult to see in the video, but we got the same kind of burnt look there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this spray. Just go over it. Oh yeah, I cleaned it up pretty good. We will put a little bit of this high temp grease on there. This has, by the way, these little wheels. I don't know if you can read it on there, but it does say front. So that side has to be facing the front. Put our washer on. Reinstall the snap ring. All right. And I think we're good. That's on there. So now we'll do the same thing on the other side. And same process, so I'm not going to video this. I'll go ahead and get it done, and we'll get this thing put back together. Okay, so now we're back to the point where we can put the drum back in and start reassembly. So, here's the drum. See where the belt has been running. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reverse this. So, with the belt, let's see. The belt around the drum. Back in, I'm going to set it on the back felt back here and just let it sit there like that. Sitting on those wheels in the back, and it's up along the felt. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is take the front drum support, which has these little Teflon bearing things here, and make sure this felt is not tucked under any place. I don't think it is. Lift this up until these tabs go in the holes right here and right here. Okay, now the drum is supported. All right, with that in place, I'm going to put in these 4 screws right there. So you can see I only needed 1 tool for this whole job, a 5/16 driver. Okay, so that piece is in place. All right, we want to change the camera angle and connect the belt up underneath. Okay, so here we are looking at the inside. We're inside the belly of the beast, and we have the belt going all the way around the drum. So at this point, we want to position the belt around the drive shaft of the motor right there. And then we're going to pull this side loose.
And I'm gonna see if I can get both my hands in here. And then push the idler up like that. The belt is in place. This is the way it should look. Okay. The next thing I want to do, I'm going to pull this exhaust pipe back inside. Well, let's see. Give me just a little trouble. There we go. That's in place. Just going to check things out. It looks like everything is good in there. We're done inside. We're ready to bring the top of this back down. Just like that. Coleman, I know you're going to like this part, you know, putting screws in and stuff like that. That's right up your alley. All right, the top is on. Okay, we are ready now to put the air supply duct just like that. And then there are the 3 screws in here that have to go in place. And Coleman, do you remember? I only had 2 screws. Boy, these lights are bright, aren't they? They're hot too. Oh well. Okay, that's Hollywood. All right, here we go. Inside screws. These are plastic, so don't put the screws in so tight that it breaks the plastic. So that's snug. The seal back in here is good. Now we're ready for the door. Okay, I'm going to move the camera because this is a test for Coleman. This is the red and the black wires for the light bulb. Let's get that in here. Let me pull this off and show you exactly where that goes. I'm putting the black one there on the top. I'm going to take this red one. Okay, I'm going to connect it on the bottom. Okay, so this is for the light that is right here. See that light? Okay. And there is a little retainer here that we're going to put around this cable, and then can't see that. We're going to take this retainer, stick it in there like that, and it just holds these wires in place kind of nicely. Okay, now we're ready to put the camera back. Okay, we're looking at this now from a different angle. This is a little bit better, I think. And we have the 3 wires going to our door switch. Coleman, remember the order? I think we said it was GBW, G for gray. So we're going to take the gray one, we're going to hook it there, the top. Just the way it came off. We'll take the black one, and we're going to put, I'm way down there. It's really hard for you to see this, isn't it? We'll put this black one right there, and then the white one will go last. So that you can see the order they go on the switch there. Okay? And this door then goes up like this. Now I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see how the door goes on. All right, so with the door wiring all connected, we're going to take the door. The switch is on top. You got to be careful not to drop the door or those wires will pull out, okay? So we're going to take this little knob and that little knob over there. They go up into a hole right in the corners of this top cover, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, and these black pieces have to hook underneath. And then they will hold the front cover in place. Like that. Okay? Now there are 2 screws we have to put back in down here. So I'm going to grab those and hopefully this will just stay there for right now. Now we're going to go ahead and push in on this door. Put this first screw in. You may have to lift up a little bit on the door to get the screw to engage. And we'll put that in. Okay, that's good. And then the screw on this side goes in. Okay, so that's done. And then finally, we have this bottom cover. It does the same thing. It kind of scoots up into a hole there, but there's nothing to hold it up. And first screw hole is right there. Okay, that one is in place. And we're gonna come way down here. We're gonna stick this one in there. Okay, that one's done. All right, top panel is bolted down. We're gonna go ahead and open the door. And let me grab the filter. Put that back in place. We'll plug this in. Here's the test. I don't hear any birds. This is a good thing. It's running smooth, folks. Coleman, you did a good job. Thanks for hanging with me there, buddy. It was all because of you. I mean, it took me about 6 hours to get this job done because I was doing it on video. Normally it takes about half hour, 45 minutes. But anyway, it's all worth it for you, Coleman. Have a great Saturday, or whatever day it is. See you later.